we've reconvened once again. It's been a minute. There was some confusion as to what happened last time. I think it's just maybe the mind fog lifts as we re-enter our campaign world. But yeah, you guys have yet again saved Kintargo. And in a greater sense, saved Ravenel. You unified all of the kind of outlying region underneath Kintargo with Lord Mayor Julia Boralis as the mayor. You did it all legally, which you don't really care about, but by following these archaic laws and dogmas that were set out by Cheliax with the backing of hell, that they can't renege on any of these deals, because then hell itself will have words with Cheliax and they'll lose their relationship there, and there'll be a lot of problems for them. So you kind of played their game better than they play it. And at some point last session, you guys got a letter from Queen Abigail that I believe said something along the lines of well played, Silver Ravens, or well played, Ardent Crows, but this won't be the last we speak of this. But for now that they aren't going to invade. So you had a little time to relax, except for the serial killer who was stalking your streets. It seems as if somehow Palpatine returned. Except it was the Temple Hill slasher, Professor Menguv, who presumably killed a bunch of people and was executed for it. Super executed, they definitely killed him. But he was back and doing it again. So you put a stop to him, though not before he clipped some of the wings of the crows, some allies, and I believe, Sezzix, do you still have 240 damage on you there?
255 on my 106 HP.
Yeah. I also noticed that Tommy is dead.
There was a couple casualties. A couple of the heads got cut off in this here buried.
I do remember missing you with 5 attacks, and you miraculously also not dying.
Milani protects.
I do recall you somehow not dying. It's unprecedented. But yeah.
Game.
First off, we thank the big girlie in the sky. Roses everywhere.
Roses for everyone.
Second, we cried, casting Ray's dead. I remember there was a distinct moment where someone died, and I chose to not res them and said, fuck it. We're going to cast a buff spell instead.
I was like, do you want to Breath of Life them? And you were like, no.
No, it was me. I was so negative, it wasn't worth it.
I think the same thing happened to me.
Yeah. But
it was you could cast Breath of Life.
I'm negative 58 health points. I don't think Breath of Life was bringing me back.
Bro, I'm negative 149.
Yeah, it says it's no shot. No shot. But yes, after a harrowing battle, once again, the crows emerged victorious, though bloodied, shall we say. And, in block text being high-level characters, Garm, I assume you've rezzed everyone, you've marked up whatever gold for removing negative levels. I don't really care. That's not the kind of GM I am. We're just here for a cool story.
We're here for fucking tears.
But yes, so you guys kind of have won. You pull out your old checklist of old things that you forgot about, Seishi wanted to get revenge on that changeling lady who seduced him, but, you found her body in the freezer here, so you can cross that off. There was the guy who said he was gonna get you and your little dog too, as he flew away from his fortress in the mountains that you exploded. But his body was in here, so you can check that one off. And as you kind of go through, you don't have any enemies left. It's all wrapped up in a neat little package. But,
something don't feel right.
They usually print 6 of these books, and you've only gone through 5 of them. So there's something left. And after some time has passed, however much time you would like to like kind of get yourselves fully healed and rested, you know, play some weekends of bridge with the girls. Maybe you guys, the young lovers, Caerrat and Tommy, have put down, some roots. You have that farmhouse. Maybe you've started decorating it. You've moved in together. Whatever you would have liked to have happened in this intervening time has happened. So you've kind of settled in, as it were, to your lives as like the retired heroes. And then a messenger finds you. So where would you all be just kind of on a day after you've like retired from your adventuring lives?
So are we like 2 years down the road? How far down are we?
I would say let's look at like weeks or months, not years.
Weeks, months? Okay. So Tommy, what are you like finalizing on your farm?
I've already bought the farm. I think I bought it for like 5,000 gold pieces.
He bought the farm last
Okay.
session.
No, I bought it a long time ago. I have the DM or whatever.
I was saying the 240 damage is when you bought the farm.
Oh.
That's when he went to the farm up north.
So, yeah, my farm's finalized, and I believe I've already recruited.
Oh yeah, you already recruited people, so that farm's probably like going, We probably spent like 2-3 weeks like settling things in town, going to funerals and shit, and then like what went up north.
Going to funerals and shit.
Probably get a plot of land and get some of the farm workers to start building like a temple of Milani on the farm for you.
Oh, we don't need that. We just have like a garden.
I do remember that there were a couple of people you wanted to cast True Resurrection on. Was that still the case?
Oh yeah, we need to do as
The Tiefling. What's his name?
Hamilton Hayes?
Yeah.
Hamilton Hayes and the lady
Larry Longroad, the coffee house?
Larry Longroad who got exploded onto us.
Is that spell in your repertoire yet?
No.
Okay.
I have regular resurrection though, and I only need a piece of them for that.
Okay. Yeah, so you can put them back together.
So why don't we sell some stuff?
So you had funerals for those that couldn't afford your life-saving procedures.
Can we do a little vendor action?
Sure.
I'll just double check everything.
Yeah.
There's a island stone that gives +2 to strength.
I have a belt that gives +4.
There's one that gives +2 to con. I already have a belt for that.
Belt.
You're saving that portable hole, right? For storing stuff?
Yeah, I'm just gonna I'll put it on my character sheet.
Does Sezzix have a Dex Con belt?
Actually,
Do you want me to take the cost of your resurrections off the top?
yeah, that works.
How much is one?
Like 13,500.
I think the material component is
10k.
Yeah.
And then the spell casting, I think, is like.
But you're paying for resurrection, right?
Oh yeah, you're right. Shit. I was thinking True Res for some reason.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, it's just 20k.
Yeah, so it's just 20k. Easy.
I took the pink island stone just for HP.
Buddy might want to actually take the portable hole just so like it's not everything's on me.
Sure.
I paid for your resurrections, and you had some gold there that I've given you, and we still haven't sold stuff. So yeah, it takes some time. The Kintargan market can't handle. They can't pay even 55% of these goods. They just don't have the money for it. So like, you probably like send word far and wide that you have like a bounty of treasures to be auctioned off, this specific date, and a bunch of vendors from different places, from like as far off as like Cadria or like Assyrian, come to like participate in this market of all these like antique, eclectic relics, a lot of which have like some Chelish or Kintargan influence to them. you're renowned for your filigree and silver work here in Kintargo. So you ham that up and you're able to sell this stuff, but it's kind of piecemeal.
None of them have been plundered from Chelish nobility. I promise you that.
Yes. And yeah, so like maybe at this open air market where you're like selling this stuff, and obviously, you know, Rexus is officiating, or you have some people handling that, and the rest of you are just sitting off to the side. Maybe it's been a few weeks since you've all been together, you know? It's been a while. Yeah, you probably...
Sezzix climbs out of the sewers.
Yeah.
Yo.
Climbs out of the sewers. You know, you could, like, not live in the sewers anymore.
No. Return to from whence you came.
Yeah.
Yo.
There's room on the farm. I mean, we could get you like, I don't know.
There's an
We can go hang out.
If a rat's
does the
living
farm
on
have
your
a
farm,
sewer?
No, like
if
we
a
can get a
rat's living on your farm,
we can
some
get a
fucking
barn
farmer's
and
gonna
like you know
attack.
the barn cats to hunt the mice. You could like get a bunch of mice to fight the barn cats.
How much would it cost for me to build a sewer system out to our farm?
A paltry sum.
I'll mark off 4,000 gold.
What if I get my
Certainly.
what if I get my workers to help on it? How much will it cost? They'll be free
4,000
labor, of
gold.
course. Okay.
Garm gave it a price.
Once the contractor hears you're willing to pay 4,000, the price is 4,000. But
So
yeah,
how much
now we're
is
not
that
on
gonna
a
cost?
septic
Our
tank, so that's
limit's
good.
4,000.
so you guys are like, you're like, you've arrived. You're talking about contractors, moving, you know, you're deciding wallpaper. You're not thinking about, like, conflict anymore. Yeah, it's behind you.
Yeah, we've already won.
And you see...
I leveled up to 15 for no reason.
Oh, yeah,
I spend
you
my night
see...
dreaming of this guy.
You see a beanpole of a man come up to you. He, you know, we'll just say that with his keen rat eyes, Sezzix notices that this guy, like, wasn't in the crowd. There's, like, a crowd of people. Sezzix clocks him. He's, like, 37 people, 14 women. The rest are men, you know, 17 children. You know, he's, like, doing all his, like, beautiful mind thing, getting ready. He's counting the exits like he's an agent. Like, he knows how to handle this situation. And, like, a 38th person kind of emerges from the center of this crowd, looking quite lost. Like, huh, okay, there's a road there, building, road, okay. And he, like, pulls out, like, a note and kind of looks at it and starts, like, looking at some people. And then his eyes will meet yours. And he'll kind of get, like, that, okay. And he'll, like, put his piece of paper away, and he'll walk over to you guys. He is younger, like maybe mid-20s, dark black hair, pretty traditional, like, cellist features, and he's wearing, like, middle-class nobleman's robes. He does seem to have a fine pair of boots on, and he's got a satchel over his shoulder, and he had, like, some piece of parchment that he stuffed into a pocket. And yeah, he walks over to you.
Did you say anything?
Haven't seen you before.
Yes.
When'd you get here?
Hello. I am, and he'll kind of do a flourish. I am, Tancrus Thrune. And I have, for you, and he'll, like, start reaching through his bag, and he begins pulling out what could be a ray gun, if you want to shoot him.
We're not the cops.
It looked real enough. No, he pulls out a scroll tube. He's like, I have a handout for you. And he'll, like, kind of crack it open, and he'll pull out the scroll, and he'll hand it to you. Oh, it's from Queen Abigail. I should have led with that.
I'll need to get someone's help on this. Sarah, too much fun.
Oh, hello.
Oh, yes,
Oh,
hello.
something for us?
Yes, you're the Ardent Crows, right?
Oh, yes. Thank
Here
you.
you go.
As a Thrune.
Directly from her? Oh, my. Thank
Well,
you.
Yeah, of course. That's it, right? He'll, like, hand it to you.
Are we gonna, like, explode now, or?
I don't know. She just told me to give it to you.
Okay.
Okay. well, thanks. And he'll like take a step back and he'll kind of look around. He'll reach into one of his pockets. He'll pull out a piece of paper. He's like, oh, not that one. He'll reach into this one. He'll unfurl it and be like, Incresius. And as he says that, his boots glow and he disappears. If you wanted to kill him, he is a level 2 NPC with boots of teleportation.
Those are some nice boots.
They're on loan from the throne.
I mean, hold on. This might be the turn. Those boots of teleportation might be worth it.
You want to reveal his Cylon.
Yep.
Yeah, you unfurl it, and it is this.
Yeah, we do reading.
To the representatives of the Silver Ravens, it'll say Ardent Crows, obviously. The representatives of the Ardent Crows, greetings once again from the throne of Cheliax. We trust that this missive reaches you in good health. In our prior message, we mentioned that we would be in contact soon to discuss further ramifications for Kintargo's situation. Though we have shepherded and cared for Kintargo for decades, we shall abide by your wishes and the stipulations of the Kintargo contract. We wish to avoid a protracted war that would serve neither interest of House Thrune nor those of your city's residents. We request negotiations between your organization and our representatives to determine how best to handle Kintargo's transition out of our glorious Cheliax dominion. Our negotiator, Nereza Regalo, proposes meeting at the Oakrib Inn, just west of the Menador Gap in 1 week's time. We trust this region is familiar to you, as we understand you have visited before. Please respond via this missive's carrier if you agree, and we soon hope to put these troubled times behind us. Her infernal Madrigress, Abigail II of the thrice-damned House of Thrune, by the might of Asmodeus, Queen and Empress of Cheliax and its other realms and territories. You now realize, having read this, that the messenger left.
She'll
Awkward.
figure it out when we show up.
Seems like he's not very good at his job.
I'll burn that bridge when we get there.
But yeah, you can, with like a token diplomacy check.
Sending spell or something.
Yeah, you can easily send word to them if you want to. But with the token diplomacy check, Caerrat, you realize, based off of, your talkings with Rexus and kind of the geopolitical situation between Kintargo, Cheliax, and Nidal, and all these various forces, that the Oakrib Inn is like this kind of almost neutral ground. It's about as on the edge of your territory as it can be, while ambassadors from Cheliax going there wouldn't be seen as like a sign of invasion from anyone. So it's not like they're wanting to have the meeting in your town and like march a legion in there. They're doing it basically at the border.
It's a pretty neutral location.
Yeah. So
Respect.
You mean like North Korea and South Korea in that one little room on the border?
yeah, sure.
The demilitarized. Fuck, why can't I say that?
The demilitarized zone?
Thank you.
But yeah, aside from that excitement, the rest of your auction goes off without a hitch. Am I good to sell your bounty?
We should finish that.
Yeah,
Pretty sure I don't
I
need
don't need anything. I already took the portable.
Ooh, med match rod.
I took the displacement potions in case, I need to chug one for my life. It's only one round, but it could be life-saving.
I have quite a few unidentified items if Rexus wants to get to where.
Which ones?
Stack of 3 chainmail, a couple stacks of 3.
Stacks of 3.
There's a
Sadly,
lot of
doesn't-
unidentified items.
doesn't show me what's identified. I'll tell you right now. There's a wand of greater invisibility, wand of
That's
maximized
cool.
magic missile, this compass here. The rest of this are like potions of cure wounds, resist energy,
junk
lesser
stuff.
restorations. Yeah. Mithril surgical tools, headband of intelligence +2, a magnetist's glove, a glove of storing, a beast strike club.
Okay, yeah,
Yep,
I think we're just selling all this.
some chainmail. They're all just +1s.
Yeah, I'm not going to read all this. Yeah, it seems like we're selling it.
Wonk.
Oh, look, money.
All right. Well, you guys receive, your dividends at the end of the day, less the, the auctioneer's fee, less the travel fee. Of course, you had to house these people. You had to give them food. So your take at the end of the day is about 55% of the actual value of a lot of these goods. But that seems to be pretty standard, if not above standard, that you'd expect from an auction of this size.
From this type of situation.
But yeah, I assume you guys are gonna head to the Oakrib Inn.
We're gonna go revisit our favorite spot at Menador Gap.
Are you gonna teleport there, or are you just gonna travel by foot?
Can we do some shopping real quick?
Sure. You do have some time.
Hey, you guys, turns out we're bartering instead on some of these items.
Yeah, you of course have handled purchasing and stuff like that.
Of course.
You can make whatever purchases you want. At this point, really nothing's super off limits to you. So
We'll go up to a cloak +5.
Yeah, no, like if you're gonna get something wild, just let me know so I know you have it. But for the most part, you won't have difficulty finding anything. Over the course of the week, you might have to make some savvy use of teleports or sendings and things like that to actually figure out where on the globe some of these items are. Because like they don't have like 4 + 5 cloaks and like +5 weapons hanging out here. But you can get in touch with Rexus can send you to like Absalom and you can do some shopping and stuff like that. But yeah,
the kiosk of +5 cloaks in Absalom.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you just go to the Pathfinder Society. They seem to have all of this stuff.
So I bought a vibrant purple prism. I'm be going to Rexus every day if you can give me permission, so that he can cast shield into my ion stone for me every day.
And then you can cast it.
I'm on myself.
Perfect.
Yep. I'll help you out.
Sounds good.
The buff boy in the corner.
Other than that, I don't know what I want to spend 35,000 on right now. So
yeah, I don't know either.
But yeah,
I have 11,000.
If we have not yet gotten into a combat, you can have bought whatever you want.
Perfect.
Once we roll that first initiative, though, you're locked in. But I'll tell you, you're going to diplomatic negotiations, so there will not be combat unless you choose to initiate it. So yeah, you
50-50.
guys arrive at the Oakrib Inn, more equipped perhaps than you were a week previous. Time will tell. A good magician doesn't reveal all their secrets. But yeah, I will get you a map here. You all remember this place. In fact,
I just upgraded belt and cloak. That was it.
This is what it looks like. That's the ground floor, and here's the upper floor. You don't have to keep these open, but just so you kind of have a general idea of the layout. And again, that's as far as you've explored the ground floor. Though while we have that map open, mask mode, the outside of it is like this. So you kind of have an idea of the shape. There's just like a garden back here. And you just haven't been into these like servant rooms. There we go. How does that suit you? Perfect. So yeah, that's kind of what it looks like. There's just hallways. It's a wall. Yeah, that is the Oakrib Inn. Are you going to arrive kind of day of? You're going to arrive early? You're going to arrive late? Who are you bringing with you, if anyone, aside from the four of you?
Should we bring backup?
I don't know, but I think we definitely go a day early.
Scoop it out.
Go a day early?
Do you want to invite, like, Larry or the mayor?
Maybe the mayor.
After being resurrected, Larius, like, my adventuring days are behind me.
I can understand that. You did great.
She's like, I have therapy on that day.
Yeah, I can see that.
Much needed therapy.
Just getting fucking murdered. Yeah.
Emerson Hayes just... His shop is just now a rocking chair. There's, like, not clothes or anything. It's just a rocking chair.
It's just like Milani. He's just got a rose. He's like, Milani protects me. Just rocking back and forth.
I'll bring one of my promising young lads. He's like just probably not even a level 1 NPC.
You're not bringing a child to this fucking
He's not a
negotiation.
child. He's like 16. All right, he's not a child.
That's a child. He explodes.
Yeah. Okay.
What, are you expecting
So-
combat to occur?
So you bring one of your squires.
It's a diplomatic mission.
Yeah, he'll be,
Just like, who wants to
Uncommon
go on
for
a
a knight
field
to bring a
trip?
squire.
I'm bringing a sacrifice. It's a diplomatic mission.
he'll be a level 1 warrior.
Okay.
He's got the elite array, so his highest stat will be a 15.
Beautiful.
Is he strong, hardy, quick, wise, intelligent, pretty? What's his greatest quality?
15 charisma.
He's the most attractive of the young boys. He's so strapping.
Tommy, why'd you bring this guy?
Just so he can learn from the master. He can see me in action if he needs to. I'm gonna have a talk to him. I'm like,
Why do you want him to see you in action, huh?
how much is a telescope in this? Like, can I have him like to sit on a mountain with a telescope to watch? How much is a telescope in this?
How would I watch inside a building, my lord? I feel like there are laws against that.
Maybe my fiance's right. Maybe you should stay home and maybe tend to farm.
Okay. He'll go back to, like, bucking bales of hay, or whatever swarthy duty you had him doing, where he was all, like, glistening with oil, and you were like, I want to take that guy with me. Excellent. Yeah, you guys go to the Oakrib Inn. It sounds like no one is accompanying you. We're putting no one in the line of fire.
Sounds like we're just going.
Okay, you're just going. Sounds good. You want to arrive a day early. Not a problem. It is, in fact, an inn. You can show up whenever you want. You will see the owner again. Alrighty. He remembers you from about a year ago or 6 months ago when you were here. After that terrible earthquake destroyed the keep up there. That explosion. It was like an avalanche.
It's crazy that was right after us.
Weird.
But yeah, when you arrive, though, the first thing you notice is that the kind of atmosphere of the inn is distinctly different than it was the last time we were here. It's certainly quieter. There's not a lot of activity happening. And he is a little dour. But as you come in, he perks up and be like, "Oh, visitors! Yes, of course!" He'll, like, turn up the oil lamp next to him to kind of brighten the room. Welcome! I'm Alradi. Welcome to the Oakrib. How long will you be staying for?
A couple of days. Maybe more.
Oh, but of course, what brings you here?
Just meeting some old friends.
Political intrigue.
Political intrigue. He'll kind of scratch his chin. And he'll be like, are you with the Thrune party tomorrow?
No.
We are meeting them.
Oh, they've already paid for accommodations through the week for you. But it did not begin until tomorrow. I'm afraid we do have the rooms available, but you'd have to pay for them. They are rather nice rooms, so they're a little pricier. It'll be, I'm so sorry, my lords, it'll be 5 gold pieces each.
Each? Tommy.
I'll give him 7
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
as a tip.
Tommy, not even paying. I can't believe.
What?
I'll give him 3. He gave the other 2 for mine.
I will broadly stand up and bolster my chest and say, pay your fair share.
And then I'll slide the other 2.
I'll pay 5.
Literally just got 150,000 gold pieces arguing over 5. Classic adventurers.
It's
2
the important.
even, not even 5.
I'll pay up.
You guys go up to the second room. You do have very nice rooms. Probably not like 5 gold piece rooms in Kintargo, but this is like the only inn for 30 miles in any direction. It's like the only public structure kind of all around for a few days. So you imagine that, they can charge whatever they want.
Yeah.
You recall when you were here last time that the prices were about the same, though it does seem as if they've gone up about like 30%. There was like 4 gold last time. Now it's 5 gold. So, it's a little more expensive. You also quickly notice, of course, Sezzix with his like crazy person mind, counting the exits and the doors and like all the occupants. There's like no one else here aside from staff. It's like very slow. You're the only guests currently.
Is it a slow time of year?
It's like, oh, well, he'll kind of scratch the back of his neck. My lords, I must say that we have seen a downturn in business here after the closing of the Menador Gap. That natural disaster really put us in a hole. I've been here for 25 years. We used to be the talk of the town. People would travel for miles out of the way just to spend a night in the Oakrib and take part in one of our famous banquets. But it's been years since anyone's come and spent that kind of money. Any of the bards or fablesmiths have come. It's been too long. Now I fear with the closing of the keep and that passageway that I don't know if we'll be here another 25 years.
We'll see. I'll put in a good word to the mayor. See if we can't reopen that keep.
The mayor, he'll kind of scratch his head. There's no town here, my lord.
The mayor of Kintargo.
Kintargo, yes. Well, I mean, that's a week's ride away. I don't know what good she could do, but I appreciate you telling all of your friends about our business.
I'll just give him a thumbs up. Sezzix isn't the smartest guy.
Feeling kind of bad about this, seeing as this is kind of our fault. I'm going to give him 100 platinum as an investment for when he gets back off his feet.
A donation of 1,000 gold pieces is enough to keep things going in the short term. Orati is gobsmacked with a combination of thanks and relief. He vows to ensure you will never want for comforts if you ever return here in the future. He is ecstatic. He's like, I must tell the cook, who's my chef. I must tell Dorina, we'll have a banquet tonight, just for you, guests of honor. Yes, 7 courses, nothing but the finest. I'll break out the good port. Oh, thank you, lords, thank you. And he'll like rush off.
Aww.
Yeah.
Look at the little guy.
Yeah, look at that. You made someone's day. Good job.
Look at you doing the right thing.
Just so
Tommy.
you know that we haven't forgotten anyone here. The owner is Orati. The chef is named Dorina. There is a stable master. There is a carpenter and groundskeeper. There's a director of entertainment. There is a pair of assistant cooks. And there are 3 servers and housekeepers, as well as 3 security. The security members' names are Lorne, Vasha, and Valgurdus the Hammer Foon. So, yeah. Those are the other people you see here. And they are relatively professional. Unlike bouncers you may have known, these folks are sober. It seems as if they're like drinking water or coffee throughout the day. The staff has meals.
It's like Roadhouse
in shifts. Yeah, it's kind of like Roadhouse.
Yeah.
Just the one with Jake Gyllenhaal. I don't know of any other Roadhouse that could have existed.
No. That's the far superior one.
Yeah, of course. Have you seen the new one?
It's so bad.
It's so bad, but Conor McGregor is so funny. Did you watch the after the credits scene?
No, I'll have to
go back and watch the credits later. But anyway, so yeah. that is the inn. Is there anything specific you guys want to do aside from just waiting around for kind of the story to catch up to you?
Director of Entertainment strikes my fancy.
Oh, but of course. There is a younger male human, maybe your age, sitting over by the fireplace. He is next to like a piano, and he's got like a little tip jar there, and he's wearing some like nicer clothes. And as you come up, he'll like just start playing some background music on the piano in the background. If it's just like you come in, you know, he's just there like smoking a cigarette or something. You come in, he'll like start playing some stuff for you.
Well, of course, I'll sit down and I'll enjoy a couple songs. After like 3 or 4, though, I'll like try and spark up a conversation with him.
Oh yeah, he seems to. He basically does like the Rat Pack bit where he'll like play a song and like talk to the audience while he's doing it. Well, he'll be like, "Oh, quite a crowd we have here tonight," you know. Well, you know,
always we can make a raucous.
Yeah, he's like, I wrote this song for my first wife, but she didn't like it. You know, like stuff like that. His name is Oakrib Inn, and as the rest of you come in, he'll be like, "Is that everyone in your party?" And he'll be like, no dames. Unfortunate. I always did fancy a blonde, though. What's your name, Tommy? How you doing? He seems very flirty.
Unfortunately, you have to wait to find your 7th wife tonight.
This one gets it. Hey, although the accommodations are nice, this suit doesn't pay for itself, and he'll like jangle his tip jar periodically.
Of course. I'll sprinkle like 2 gold into it.
Whoa! Big spenders! Yeah, he'll like, he does a pretty good job. He plays with kind of the quality and enthusiasm of, you'd say, a level 3 bard. If you were to rank him on a scale of 1 to 20.
Of 1 to 20, yeah.
He'd be like a 3. Yeah.
Good for him.
Gotcha.
Yeah, he's doing okay. He's doing okay.
He's really embracing that bard spirit, you know?
Yeah.
If it moves and there's a hole, I will finger it.
He'll tell you some stories. He's got like a low voice. He drinks a lot of like brandy and stuff throughout the evening.
Mr. Bard, do you take requests?
Well, of course. There's no song I don't know, and if it's one I don't know, it's probably not one worth knowing.
I can appreciate that mentality.
Spoken like a true bard.
I respect that mentality.
Can I start humming the notes to the silver song?
Oh, the Song of Silver? Yeah. He will make a perform check at like a -5 because so he'll have like a +3 on it or something. He'll try to do a rendition of it. It is not good. You recall, though, that the Song of Silver required 5 church bells to be rung in synchronicity at certain moments, while someone with like the voice of an angel had to make like a DC 30 performance check to sing these like super high ephemerate notes.
Well, yeah, so I was going to be the angel, you know?
It's like, he's like, yeah, ding, ding, ding. These are your bells, right? So you got like bells, we got the bells. Song of the Raven, crowing from the tops of the buildings, keeping the devils away. Something
I will pay you.
Is that what you liked?
I will pay you 50 gold to play that tomorrow.
But of course, my lord's anything for you.
Thank you. I will leave 50 gold on the piano for you.
The Song of the Raven, chirping through the trees. Got them silver ravens.
All up in them silver trees.
Up in them silver trees. Oh, it writes itself.
It does.
Fantastic.
Everything's silver now. Everything's a silver, everything's a crow, everything's a raven.
We don't accept gold here, only silver, my friends.
I don't know if you believe that, but I don't have silver.
No worries. It spends just the same.
Change.
Well, I appreciate you coming in, but I gotta refill the tank. He'll put like a little note on his piano saying he'll be right back, and he's gonna head off to the bar, get another drink.
It's been a pleasure.
Yeah. Hello, Doug. Did you like my singing, Muppet? No. No, she says no. No. Yeah, okay. Hi. So,
Aw.
are you doing anything else this evening before the adventure continues?
Mm.
Nothing?
I got nothing.
Yeah. Well, well, well. Here we are. Boop-a-doop-a-doop. When you all come down the next morning, how early are you getting up?
I'm on farm hours right now, so probably like 4 in the morning.
Farm hours. Yeah, you've
When
been
the sun
digging
rises.
that sewage trench.
I haven't been digging shit. I've been working my fields, scything up my wheats.
So inefficient. They're like, my lord, use the plow.
No, this is a +5 site.
I grew up on a humble farm where we couldn't afford much. That's why I'm so good with the scythe. I had to work the fields by hand for my father.
So you're like Link in one of the early Zelda games. You're just going, hey,
Yeah.
just like cutting little circles out.
That's
4
why I
ruples, oh my god.
scythe. Yeah.
That's how I earned my ruples back in the day.
That's how I
Builds
earned my
character.
starting character wealth. Yeah.
Fighting off all those chickens. All right, that's enough out of you, dog. You're very cute. Thank you. So, in the morning, I guess Tommy, then you're awake. But like right as dawn crests the horizon, and you're there like having whatever your morning drink is with one of the assistant chefs will get up early to like open the kitchen and stuff like that. They'll be surprised to see you. You two are probably the only ones awake at this time. The doors will open, and you will see like an entourage of people. You see this lady with a little scar on her face. You see this fellow. You see this lady. And you see this lady. So the first picture, which is the lady with the scar on her face, she seems to be in charge of the entourage. The next person, which is this fella here, seems to be her assistant. He's carrying like her bags, maybe. He's like got like her roller cart with like all of her like luggage on it. And then this person here, the third one, Sayabel, and Perf. One of these is the scribe, and one of these is the apprentice. I don't know why it's hard to find how it's laid out right here, but easier in the book. To the book. But yeah, there are the 4 of them, and you only kind of glance at them for a moment because standing behind them is a fucking devil. Which I'll get to in 1 second.
There would be.
I wonder who they're aligned with. I wonder whose team these random adventurers are on.
Well, it's a good thing
Probably
I speak
Asada's.
Infernal.
Okay. So there's a barb devil, the scribe Ermelind, her assistant. Oh, sorry. The dude is the scribe. The woman with black hair is the assistant. And the woman with blonde hair seems very quiet, and she's like she's a negotiator in training. You will find out. And then the last one is a barbed devil, which I can find a picture of real quick. Doop-a-doop-a-doop. Images. Devil. Barbed. Here we go. So it looks like this guy here. except he is a little more impressive. He seems to be a little more brutish, probably a little stronger than a regular barb devil. And he will be wearing kind of nothing at all, but he will have like a tabard on that has the symbol of House Thrune, and it will go down and kind of like cover his midline and like down to his legs a little bit. So he's, wearing some finery, but it's light and narrow and kind of weaves between all of his spines. But yeah, and as you come in, or as you're sitting there, and they come in, she will go up to the front desk. She'll kind of like give a nod at you. Hello. And the leader will go up to the front desk. And she'll like ring a little bell. And a couple moments later, the owner will come out and he'll be like, "Oh, I'm so sorry, miss. I didn't expect you until later this morning." She's like, "Of course, you wouldn't. But we're here now. You can get us squared away, get our rooms, please." "Oh, yes, of course." And he'll like get her her keys and things like that. Anything you want to do, Tommy?
I mean, it's early. I'm probably not even in my full plate. Like, I'm just drinking coffee at the bar, I'm assuming.
Mm-hmm.
I'll probably glance over them, but I'm really into this coffee right now. It's 4 a.m. I need to wake up.
Yeah. Well,
So-
you kind of watch. They take stuff in. They'll kind of be waiting for their keys, and the personal assistant will come over with like a portfolio of some pieces of parchment, and he'll whisper something in her ear, and he'll like open the parchment and like point at a line or something, and then look at her, and then they'll both look over at you, and then they'll like go back to what they were doing. Once they've kind of had that conversation, she will leave the front desk and kind of leave the rooms and all that sort of stuff to the assistant and the rest of the entourage. And Nariza herself will come over to you, which is the gal with the scar. This one here.
Yeah.
So she'll come over to you. And she'll be like, Tommy, yes?
Yes.
Of course. Let me introduce myself. I am Nariza Regalo. I would love to formally introduce myself and my associates to you and your companions. Would you like to rouse them, or perhaps in a couple hours or so we could meet in the main room here, just have some introductions?
Yeah, I can alert my companions to wake up and get ready. What do you think? 2 hours would be fine?
Oh, please take your time. We're in no rush. I don't like to do any negotiating before lunch anyway.
Okay.
All right.
So,
Well, a pleasure. Enjoy your coffee.
thank you.
Yeah. She'll go back to what she's doing after a few minutes of kind of getting stuff sorted. They all go over to their rooms, go upstairs, go wherever they're going to go. The Barb Devil, you see, seems to stick pretty close to her, as if it's like her Barb Devil.
I'll say an infernal hello.
He'll kind of just give you a nod.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, the rest of the morning will kind of pass uneventfully. Are you going to go notify your companions of what you saw?
Yeah, I'm gonna go wake up Buddy. I think he really needs a shower. He's probably been going ham with
Just like
some
an
of that-
hour bath.
Yeah. But he
Given their
probably-
first-
I mean, I figured you were drinking some beers, eating some food. You may have spilled some on yourself, being a barbarian.
I feel like there's just always like an underlying stench to Buddy. No matter
A pale musk.
Yeah, get rid of
Just
this.
Buddy, not Sezzix.
Some
Sezzix is
people-
fine.
Fantastic.
Some people love it, some people don't. It's just a
Sezzix
must.
needs a deep grooming. He's got to get all the fleas out.
Fantastic.
We've all been living in, he's been living in the sewer the last couple of weeks. He probably needs to be defleed. And then
He's
I'll wake
wearing
up
a
my
little
lovely
collar.
mistress. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I'll wake everyone up.
Yeah. You guys get ready, you clean yourself up or whatever. I'll reflect those changes by not giving you penalties on your diplomacy checks. And yeah, you guys can
Take a
head
bubble bath.
downstairs. And formal introductions will occur. Well, you'll learn their names and their roles and things like that. she will introduce herself to all of you as Nariza Regalo. She will be the head negotiator here. And during proceedings, her bodyguard, the Barb Devil, would like to be nearby, as obviously they've heard of the actions you've taken against representatives of House Thrune in the past. And, you know, her bodyguard would like to be in the room.
That's fine. I'll say laughing.
In addition, Ermelind Arazo, this man here, will be the scribe. He'll be taking an impartial record of what's happening here. He'll be happy to provide you with a copy of it.
I'll hold my hand up. Please document that I laughed when they wanted a bodyguard.
I'm so sorry, sir. We are only to document the proceedings themselves.
I understand.
Laugh immediately among the proceedings.
This is Sable. She'll be my assistant, in and out of the room, fetching us coffee, snacks, things like that. If you need anything, she's more than happy to assist you as well. She'll give you a smile and a little nod. Her eyes will certainly linger on Buddy for a second, as she's looking everywhere, and she'll kind of look at him and be like, "Of course, anything you need, sir. Anything."
It's the musk.
And last but not least, she'll be like, "I almost forgot. This is Athinia. She will be just watching the proceedings. She's a negotiator in training. She's effectively finishing some of her rotations now, so she'll just be observing this. You can speak with her, but Athinia, do you have anything to add?" She's like, "No, I'm just a fly on the wall." Yes, and with those kind of introductions out of the way, she will kind of give you the introductory spiel of the negotiations. Them dog allergies. All right. On behalf of Cheliax,
allergies.
Yeah, right. It's hard. I mean, you got a kitty. Yeah, it's just been cat for the last 5 minutes on camera.
I know. She's so good.
He's a good boy.
That's Emmy. She's the good girl. What she was doing there is what I call the maneuver. It's where she climbs into my lap, throws herself over one of my arms, and I have to hold her with the other one petting her belly.
She's learned.
Good move.
Every time.
You've taught her well.
It's the maneuver.
Or she's trained you well.
I love her so much.
Well, on behalf of Cheliax and House Thrune, I thank you for joining me in these negotiations. I wish to assure you that my job is not to convince you to allow Kintargo to remain part of Cheliax. That tomb, as they say in Nadal, is sealed. My job is simply to ensure that Kintargo's transition to a free city goes as smoothly as possible, and to resolve several outstanding details regarding the relationship between Cheliax and Kintargo. Perhaps after we've had time to wash, the stench of the road off us, have meal, we could begin our discussions. How does that sound for everyone?
Sure. Well, we'll be excited as long as we're, just here having a great time, Apparently coffee's good.
Oh, but of course. Well, I thank you so much for your time, and yes, I look forward to seeing you.
Wait, hold on a second. Did you guys not just teleport here?
Well, we've traveled, of course, into your lands legally. We would not use magic to bypass your border. That would violate the very essence of what we're trying to accomplish here.
You already did.
We sent an invitation. It was received, and we came here.
Yep, but the messenger guy,
oh, I'm so sorry.
Away.
He works with a different department. I don't know how that message was sent to you. I assure you that my role here as negotiator is to be above board and honest with you at all times.
I hate these people.
Oh, that's rather rude.
Scribe, write that down, please.
Bureaucrats, are they even real people?
I assure you, I hear all the words you're saying, and they are quite hurtful.
I think we should wait till noon for further negotiations.
Very well. I will see you after lunch.
Yeah,
I'll go get the nice egg breakfast.
You'll see them kind of like they're not all keeping to themselves or whatever. They like spread out. Like some of them maybe are like in the den, or like one of them's up on the balcony like reading a book. The bodyguard will stay with Nerissa most of the time, but the others, and like maybe the personal assistant goes over to her and like brings her a document or something periodically. But everyone really is just like relaxing and enjoying themselves. You catch the scribe will be like poring over like some juicy crime novelette or something. Like he's just like reading basically the stuff you would find in like an airport terminal, like those sort of books. He's like reading the Pelican Brief or something. Like he's just really getting into it. Sabel is like has started a conversation with the piano player, and they're kind of chatting, and she's like telling him about her life or whatever, and he's flirting with her. They're just out and about socializing. So yeah, if there's anything particular you'd like to do, we can do that. If not, we can just proceed right into negotiations. So it seems rather dry to do that.
I'll remind our allies to take the high road on certain matters.
What do you mean? They I hate them.
Uh-huh.
You see the road up there? That's the high road. Take that one.
I already did. We won. That was the high road. We did it. This is our victory lap. We won.
I'm going to take Buddy to the side and explain the great man Yuri would not want us to befriend these people.
I'll just say we blew up the high road last time we were here.
Literally.
You guys make fair points. All right.
Well, so you're all ready then to proceed right into this minigame, is what I heard.
A little negotiations.
Yeah, so basically the way it's going to work is there'll be some issue presented. You guys can make arguments alongside various social skills to try and get them to concede points. There's up to a maximum of 3 concession points that you can get for each negotiation subject, which will make the lives of the people in Kintargo easier down the road. That makes sense?
Yep.
Yeah.
No? Good. It's politics. Yeah.
As long as we're on the same page.
So you guys will be led into the same room that you all sat in, right over here, the last time you were deciding how to destroy the Menador kit. Yep. So the 4 of you will sit down. The scribe will sit off to the side. The head negotiator will sit there. The assistant negotiator, or the kind of the person who's on the job shadow, will sit off to the side and not say anything. The bodyguard will stand by the door, and the assistant will be to the side of the head negotiator. So yeah, Nerissa will begin things at about like 2 in the afternoon. You guys will start negotiating. She'll be like, well, I have quite a lot of things to get into, so and it seems as if you're all right with skipping some of the pleasantries. We can just dig into the meat of this and try to get through this as quickly as possible.
Thank you. Continue. You brought a devil, Thank you. Just very honorable. Appreciate what you do here. Thank you once again.
But of course, yes. Well, we'd like to begin talking about trade agreements. Kintargo isn't a major exporter to Cheliax, but the goods it does export tend to be luxuries. The silver salmon of the Lublis River are among the tastiest of their kind. Your other exports are equally valued, particularly salt, silver, and granite, either for their intrinsic value or for their value as trade goods. We would like to see that the price of salmon, salt, and granite and silver produced and exported from Ravenel to Cheliax is locked in at a set price. We don't want to see these prices increase over the next years. I'd like to offer you a price comparable to what Kintargo currently receives. The price she'll offer is comparable to the price Kintargo currently receives within Cheliax, but you know that it is much less than the amount of goods command on the open market. Further, she seeks to ensure that a minimum of 70% of these exports are promised to Cheliax.
70%?
But of course, you don't have to deal with sending things overseas by boat. Of course, we're your nearest land neighbor. Until recently, we were all under one big happy roof, so why not continue those existing trade routes? All of your citizens that currently own trade caravans or are involved in the trade business, you don't want to see them have to change their lives drastically to be able to get their goods to market? You're going to put those people out of business?
All right, what if I tell you that he could just bankroll those people until they find new trade routes?
If your solution to fixing the problems of the common class are to individually take on the burdens yourself, then I'd say you're doing just what we do, and you're electing a monarch to rule instead of having your Lord Mayor and your ratified city council handle these problems. If you wish to be the only ones in charge of these problems and handle them yourselves, by all means, I'm more than happy to negotiate with you as a monarch, peer to peer.
I didn't realize this is what we were talking about here. I thought you guys were just saying go on, do your thing. You guys want stuff? Like we could have talked about that like 100 years ago when you guys like incinerated us, you know, or like even like 6 months ago when you rained fire frogs onto our populace. Could we get reparations for that instead? Oh, we begin this entire thing.
What event are you referring to?
The imps rained down by your previous liege and representative within our city.
I'm the first negotiator to be sent here, I believe.
So we're pleading ignorance on everything that has led to these circumstances. And
Go ahead.
Oh yeah, please continue.
Oh no, I'll just continue ranting.
Oh yeah, see, you basically be like, but House Thrune is so evil, and they did a bunch of evil shit when they were ruling us, so like...
Why would we, give favorable odds? Why would we give 70%? We can teleport things, we'll be fine.
But of course, I completely understand your gripe with your last leader. And you handled that matter, as I dare say, rather abruptly. She'll, like, look at her body. This is why the devil is here, if I need remind you.
I laugh openly.
Listen, off the record, the scribe will, like, take his quill away.
Yeah.
The queen acknowledges that you have your nation. You have liberated it. It is free. We by no means wish to curtail the fact that you have an independent nation. You are free to govern it as you rule. You're free to do trade however you rule. That said, as a person talking to you, I will let you know that in times past, a majority of Kintargo's economy was based on it being related, having this close tie with the rest of Cheliax. A vast majority of its goods were exported to Greater Cheliax. A vast majority of its people enjoyed travel between our two nations without bloodshed or difficulty. Now, if you wish to take your nation and make it insular and not have it negotiate with us, that is your right to do so. I am but a humble negotiator. I have worked deals between many powerful parties. If you wish to button up and close yourselves off, that is totally your right to do so. Though I will say, currently the Queen has been dealing with other provocations on the border, and she is willing to make concessions. These are just our starting points for negotiation. Please counteroffer. Please present arguments, and we can look to more favorable terms.
Okay, how's this for a counter-argument?
Back on the record, of course.
But of course, she'll like gesture and the quill will once again hit the pen.
I loudly laugh.
So Cheliax takes most of our exports, as you claim. What's to stop us from just hiring a gang of pirates and just exporting everything in the inner sea? at a more favorable rate than you have. There are people that will work.
Okay, calm down, Tommy.
Yeah,
Okay.
make an intimidate check.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Cobra's out here trying to conduct our campaigns, Garm.
We're now pirates to the.
We'll tell the fucking pirates. I'm like, hold on. Tommy, wait. No, hold on, Tommy. Keep going. Hold on.
Where's my intimidate? I'm so fucking baked right now. There we go. Plus 20.
Oh damn!
She'll be like, very good. How about this? You do bring up a good point. What is to stop you from seeking other means to export your goods for a fair market rate? Perhaps we were overreaching in requiring a price lock on these goods. How about we allow it to be a fair market price for these goods, but you still agree to sell a majority of them to us first? We require these goods. This is where the people of Kintargo get salmon. This is where we get your illustrious salt. Would you deprive the citizens of Cheliax from these foods? You yourselves were citizens of Cheliax not but a few months ago.
It would be a shame if your population just had to move to Ravenel just to get these luxurious goods. It'd be a real shame if your population really started to dwindle because you can't provide.
It would be a shame if all the royal guard of House Cheliax had to come to Kintargo, wouldn't it?
I mean, they'd be under our rule.
And how exactly does Kintargo handle the changing of rule? I believe last time you just executed the people in charge. Is that not correct?
That was a good point.
Are you saying you want to be in charge?
Oh God, no. I am but a humble negotiator. But rest assured that Queen Abigail II, the thrice-stamped House of Thrune, by will of Asmodeus, long may he reign, has a penchant and a history for taking things which she believes to be the rightful rule of Cheliax, and those that oppose her are no longer able to oppose her, shall we say. Need I remind you of the folly, and she'll just begin listing little duchies and, like, nations all the way down the fucking coast that, like, were systematically conquered by Cheliax in the war machine over the last 20 years. And she'll be like,
Okay.
right now this is a blip on the radar, and I believe it should stay that. It should stay free. I appreciate what you have done. That does not mean we have to turn up our nose at profits for both sides.
So, I think we can agree. Fair market rate, first offer. That being said, we're taking it after that.
I need some agreement on minimums of exports. We started at 70. Can we meet somewhere lower? How does 50 sound?
40.
I will accept 40.
Good
So
call.
she will
I
accept
tried
a
it.
minimum of 40% of exports and a fair market rate. And like that conversation takes a few hours to get to that point. Like you go back and forth.
Yeah, I've been antagonistic for the first 3 hours of it, of course.
Yep. You guys will have like a little break for a snack. You'll relax. The quill will leave the page. The guy will like kind of flex his hand for a bit, and she'll kind of relax a bit and like, oh, that was good. Well done. Well done. It's been a while since we've negotiated with anyone as passionate as you.
I got my heart rate up. Oh my god.
Yes.
Really,
but yeah.
paperwork is really why I do it nowadays,
You like note that her demeanor completely changes between like business mode and not business mode. And when she's not in business mode, she's like very cordial and like, hey man, it's my job. I'm just doing my job.
Yeah, she's lawful evil.
And I am very good at my job. But yeah, after you guys have some snacks, maybe do a bathroom break, get another round of drinks or whatever, she'll be like, oh, well, shall we dig in again then?
Right back to it.
Well, let's talk about something a little closer to home. She'll like grab a new sheaf and she'll unfurl it and she'll gesture to the closed windows, and her assistant will go over and pull the blinds open, and you will see the hillside going up in the fucking ruin of Menador Keep. She'll be like, let's talk about reopening the gap, shall we? We'd like to reestablish a land route between the Heartlands and Ravenel for the purposes of trade and travel. I'd like to seek a pledge from you that neither you nor your agents will interfere in this rebuilding, and that, of course, Menador Keep will remain under Chelish rule. Finally, we would seek some reparation for the damage done there, and we'd like to help you pay for those repairs. And again, keep in mind, we can negotiate. She sees you all drawing your fucking weapons. This is the starting point. By all means.
I believe the Menador Gap is our border, and therefore we should be the ones to protect it.
Well, she'll rifle through some papers. She'll be like, it is relatively foggy as to where exactly the border lies. Obviously, the mountain range itself is the separating border between our two nations, but the keep lies within the mountain. So, should it not be...
It sounds then that we should rule it together.
Make a diplomacy check.
This is not going to go well. No, this is not going to go well.
You get additional bonuses for role-playing. She'd be like, while perhaps down the road we could arrive at some sort of agreement of a joint rule or allowing an ambassadorship to take place there, given the tension that currently exists between our nations, just having one nation in charge there would likely be better for all parties. And as we were the previous owners of that establishment, which you leveled to the ground, it would only be just that you pay for those reparations. Pay for those.
I heard it was a mechanical failure.
I think it was actually working as intended.
You guys can make a wisdom check as she says this.
Can I try to do a knowledge local? Try to figure out how close it is to us in the mountain to know what percentage of it we should own?
It is pretty well in the middle, but those of you that get above a 10, remember that in your research of this place, Cheliax did not build it. It was built by the dwarves, remember? They were just inhabiting it. So they didn't build it.
So they didn't actually pay anything for it. So there's nothing for them to pay back.
That could be a discussion point you'd like to bring up.
Bring that up.
Well then, Miss Negotiator Lady, did you know...
Please, you know my name, just as I know yours. We're well informed here. I would hate to think that you're ill-equipped for this negotiation.
Yeah, that's fine. So, who...
Fuck you, Walter! Don't be mean to him.
I just want to be mean to a couple people. They're bureaucrats. They're bureaucrats for Cheliax. They're somehow worse than normal. At least I can just have Tommy cut them in half if they have a sword, But I have to talk to them. It's worse.
Uh-huh.
I hate them. Listen.
Just working here, man.
We didn't build the Menador Gap. We just kind of, pressed the button. Who built the button, Who built the button that collapsed it in on itself in case some attacking force was going to, occupy the fortress and they had to, worst case scenario, cut off those, invading, occupying, belligerent forces?
Listen, I'm not here to hear about your, at the time, terrorist actions against the nation of Cheliax. We're wiping the slate clean, much like you did with our structure.
Well, it wasn't your structure, it was the Dwarven structure.
Excuse me?
That you had inappropriately occupied. I'll explain her the history that the dwarves built the rock.
She'll send her assistant out to go get some history book from the library in the inn, and she'll thumb through it, and she'll be like, oh.
Dwarf rock.
Very well. We will rebuild at our own cost a keep there to facilitate trade between the borders. We don't want smugglers not paying taxes to either nation. There needs to be some sort of waypoint there. We will pay the cost for it, and as we pay the cost for it, we will man it.
We have sea elves that you can open up a shipping lane with. So to reiterate that previous pirate point, that seems like a better negotiation point for us.
what would make you happy? We both agree that this route needs to be reopened.
For
I
you
don't
to
think
be
we
dead
do.
of natural causes.
She'll begin explaining to you like the cost savings of not having to use both, and the speed with which you'd be able to get your 40% of goods that you are agreed to deliver to Cheliax through the Heartland. Using
Not everything
Most-
is about profits. I just gave this place 1,000 gold just so it could stay open. Not everything is run by your little gold pieces in your big golden houses sitting on your golden toilets. All right? There's more to life than profits.
Yes, that is an impassioned speech that would certainly fall well on the ears of laborers. But as those of us in this room right now, on the hill, making the decisions for those people, we want to ensure that they have a livelihood that is protected. We want to ensure that their goods reach it to market for a fair value. We want to ensure that their work is honored and is not undercut by the ne'er-do-wells, the smugglers, the cheaters, the rogues that find their way into every fair city in the world.
Hold on. That's how. Hold on. That's us.
The closure of the Menador Gap provides us with a natural border of protection, and as soon as it opens up again, it no longer serves that purpose. So the only way we would ever open it up again is if we had control of Menador Gap and its keep.
I see. How
And you
about
paid
this?
for it.
How
You're
about
going to build the wall and pay for it.
How about this? We will pay for the founding of the guardhouse. We will staff it. We will also build quarters for you to station an equal amount of guards of your choice there as well. We will jointly occupy the keep.
No devils.
No azadas.
I mean, we didn't bring one in the first place. We were, mature.
Very well. It will only be staffed by mortals, no planar entities. And the guy writes it down. Oh, fantastic. Well done. He'll take the pen off and shake his hand again and flex.
Another 2 hours goes by.
Well, it seems as if... Oh, she'll kind of stretch and crack her knees. Oh, it looks to be almost supper time. I say we just break for the day, take in a nice supper, enjoy ourselves, and we start tomorrow afternoon.
I mean, what more is there to talk about?
Oh, she'll look over her paperwork. It seems that she has at least another day or two of issues to go through.
Oh my god, I want to go home.
I'll just whisper in Seer's ear, I could just kill them.
I want to go home.
The bodyguard will, tense. As you say.
Tommy, stop. They're bureaucrats. They're not worth it. They'll just
Yeah, they're
send
not
more. They don't even view themselves as people.
All right. Well, with the first day of negotiations complete, you guys have dinner. There'll be a banquet each night that the negotiations are happening. Not that, of course, there'd be more than one night of negotiations. But there'll be a banquet this night. And, all of you will sit around a common table. The Barb Devil will kind of, have to scoot past you in the buffet line to, get a plate of rolls. Be excuse me, They're just kind of doing their thing. They seem rather chatty. They don't necessarily, spend the whole evening talking to each other. You could strike up a conversation with any of them if you wished. Though you, of course, don't have to.
I'll see if I can talk
the Barb Devil.
Go ahead. There you
I'm
go.
going to stare at the Barb Devil.
Yeah, he'll stare at you back.
All right. That's what I'm doing at the table.
It's good
Yeah.
conversation. Yeah.
I'll go talk to the trainee.
Yeah, the blonde lady.
Yeah, what's her
Athinia?
name? Athinia.
Yeah.
Athinia, like, why? Why do you do this?
She's
Why
one
are
of
you
the
here?
most experienced negotiators in all of Cheliax. She's negotiating trade deals with sheiks and jinn and dragons. It's quite an honor to be here and watch her work.
For what? For what purpose? Like, why would you want? Like, for what end? Is it just to argue? Is it just to talk? Is that what your soul calls to you for?
It's to make an agreement between two parties who otherwise would not speak.
For what benefit? For whose gain? For like what?
Yeah, she'll
for
explain
what?
to you the purpose of geopolitical politics in like layman's terms.
Yeah, I'll just be stuck on like,
Yeah,
but you
you're
incinerate
the kid
people.
who sat through like 1 week of a fucking college course, and
Like
then you know
Poli-Sci
everything.
1000.
Yeah, you did like a
Yep.
Poli-Sci 100 class on the weekend, and you know fucking everything.
Yep.
And she's like, "You don't understand. The United States needs to have 8 super carriers because it's the only way we keep trade free for London." And like you're talking about,
And but London has the biggest
like,
navy, and we have to like be
They're
even.
Like, you don't understand. There's so many
But you don't
layers
get it.
here. There's so many layers.
But we're so far beyond it. But you don't understand. Cheliax needs your silver. Yeah, I'll begin trying to talk to her about, hey, maybe you should negotiate on the sides of the not devil people.
Sure, make a sense motive check as you talk to her.
Why do you do this? What is your soul draw? Why do you Cheliax? Woman.
You think that she is concealing something, like she knows something that she is not telling you.
So what do you think the point of these negotiations are?
Listen, she'll kind of lean in and be like, "We can't talk about this here. I'll come to your room later. Away from prying ears."
Oh, there's so many.
Yeah. She'll leave. Like,
I'll leave the door unlocked, of course.
Would any of the rest of you like to do anything noteworthy this eve?
I'm gonna leave after staring at the devil, and I'm gonna go make romantic preparations in our room.
Do you like shoulder past the devil on your way out? Like, are you trying to start shit?
Like, I'm gonna put petals, like rose petals, all in the room and in the bed, just to make it, a hotel. I mean, you got it. It's a hotel.
Yeah, of course.
So
They have the lover's suite. Their bed is shaped like a heart.
Yeah, of course. This is the honeymoon suite.
Yeah. I imagine I've been whittling like little ardent crows out of wood, because it's one of my hobbies, and I'll give each one to the 4 negotiators and their teams, and I guess the barb devil can have one too.
Yeah, you go to the devil and you like show him this little wooden crow, and he'll be like, kind of like look over his shoulder, like look at his ward. She's like distracted doing something. He'll like extend his clawed hand. You can put it in there. Why?
Gift.
What's the catch?
No catch.
What do you want from me?
Nothing.
I cannot accept then.
Hmm.
I am bound to service already. He'll like put it back in your hand.
Oh. Okay. The first time Buddy's been rejected.
Yeah, he'll look at you very quizzically, as if like he doesn't understand the concept of work for free or gifts.
Gotcha.
It's outside his programming as a lawful evil outsider.
Nice.
Yeah. The evening will pass relatively uneventfully until we'll fast forward a bit. At what time, cinematically, would you like there to be a knock on your door, Caerrat?
Cinematically, I like just step into the room. It's like 4 seconds after I close the door. I'm just closing in the door, and I turn around. I presumably see Tommy in his full plate like covered in rose petals.
I know you like to take it off.
I do it through this little hole in it.
The caffeine.
Whilst thou doff my armor.
So like as you guys begin getting intimate, there'll be a polite rapping on the door. Like,
Oh shit, I forgot. Oh fuck, I'm sorry. I like quickly like throw my shirt back on. Alright, shit. Oh fuck, come on. Okay, yeah.
you'll crack the door open. It is Athinia. She's wearing, though, instead of like her yellow robe, she's got like brown servant's robes on, and she's got like a hood pulled over her bright blonde hair to kind of conceal her identity a little bit. And you notice the candles in the sconces outside your room have all been muted. Like she's turned them off.
Of course. Welcome.
May I come in?
Please ignore him, of course.
Yeah, she'll kind of like slip into the room, and her eyes will go a little wide. She's like, "Oh, we didn't. None of our research indicated you were together.
How?
Apologies."
Right?
Yeah, they're not good at their job. Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, don't you guys like own a house together? The fuck?
From far.
They're just very good friends. There's a couple of very good friends.
They're just roommates for the last 17 years.
Yeah, they're just business partners.
Bert Nerdy.
That's my uncle and his lifelong roommate.
She'll be like, "Oh, I don't have much time, but I must speak with you. I understand you have a great deal of stake in these negotiations. We all do, including those not present here. I represent interested parties in Ogrekin, which is the capital of Cheliax, who have strong reasons for wishing that Kintargo remain a part of Cheliax. If you're willing to listen to their offer, you may find it in your best interest to concede all future negotiation points to Nereza. I understand
Sure.
you put on the bluster and bravado of these upstart rebels, but we can make it worth your while to simply step away from the negotiating table."
And we've like, so what research have you done about us?
Well, we learned that you removed the previous ruler. We know of the various people you've killed, things of that nature, and that you've worked awfully hard to establish Kintargo as a nation, presumably to have a very strong negotiating foot point to get as much capital out of Cheliax as possible, and I can help make that happen. We're talking
We don't want to
tens
be a
of
part of
thousands of
Cheliax.
gold each. With that kind of
Each?
money,
Oh my god, Tommy, each. Oh my god, each.
with that kind of money, you could go anywhere. You don't have
Even-
to worry about this anymore.
Kintargo.
Pull out your bag of like 30k gold.
She'll chat with you a bit. She's basically willing to authorize a bribe of up to 50,000 gold pieces each.
Lady, I'll pull my scythe, but not threateningly.
No,
not threateningly, just to show how much it's worth. And I'll like hold it up. I'm like, if I want to retire, I could just, and I'll drop it to the ground. I could go anywhere, whenever I want.
I
I
merely
hope you
came to
dropped it with
present the
blade
offer.
up.
How much money? I can get you 75,000 gold by tomorrow if you would like to instead represent our negotiations in this situation.
But she's not very good at her job.
That's fine.
Then
Her
we
eyes
don't
will
have to
go
deal
wide,
with
and
it.
she'll be like, I'll need time to think about this. You can make a knowledge, history, nobility, or local check. The two of you that are in the room currently.
History, nobility, local?
Yep.
I can't roll.
I
Just roll
can't
an
roll.
intelligence
I
check.
will also allow a diplomacy check at a
Oh.
higher DC.
+7.
Tommy and
Oh,
Sirat.
I didn't roll twice.
I don't know, you rolled twice. Yeah. So Sirat, with your natty 20, followed by the other natty
57.
20,
To convince an evil creature to act against their ways.
you think so. Like you begin heading down this line of reasoning, and you're like, and then this will really test her resolve to see how committed she is to her cause, right? That's what you're doing by offering
Of
her
course.
this money. You realize that is exactly what she was doing to you. You don't believe that she's representing any interests outside of the negotiating party. You think that this is a tactic known as testing the waters that Chelish diplomats have used in the past, where they present a fictitious third party who will pay you off to make all these things go away. And since you have seen through it, you can manipulate the situation however you see fit. You suspect that regardless of how this conversation goes, she is likely to go back and report to Nereza exactly what you said.
So we could...
She was seeing how committed you were to all of your claims. Are you in fact these like bullheaded, chaotic good do-gooders? Or were you just self-interested people that would be easy to bribe?
With, the Cheliax, threats.
Yep.
So, I'll close my eyes for a moment. Tommy... Probably as I grow gills if I can. Can I make a bluff check with this lady to explain that I need to grow gills for a reason?
You need to grow gills?
I need to grow gills.
Sure.
So I'm an evangelist, right?
Uh-huh.
10th level, I can assume a spiritual form, which is, akin to, more angel-y, more Azada-y.
Mm-hmm.
It also gives me telepathy of 100 feet.
Okay.
So if I can grow gills, I can talk to Tommy and let him know what's going on and try and make a plan.
I mean, you just become more angelic. You don't have to grow gills.
But the gills are more fun. The halo will come out.
I imagine you would take on an aspect of like Milani, right?
Yeah, more roses come out.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you can activate non-hostile class abilities. She's not going to stop you.
Fantastic. I will become more angelic. Embrace the rebellious action upon which, we've done all these things.
Yeah.
Listen.
You could even inform the rest of your party to have a range of 100 feet.
Everyone, that's I'll inform the world.
Yeah, you guys hear Caerrat's voice in your mind.
Hey guys, she's trying to get us. She's playing us. She's chatting to us. It's a scheme. It's a ruse. I kind of just want to, say we're Milanites and, refuse the rule of Cheliax. But I feel like that's, kind of basic. We could take advantage of this in some way,
I don't worship Milani, though. I'll say out loud with the lady in the room.
She kind of just, her eyes kind of like look between the two of you. I can leave if you wish to discuss this further.
I just don't, I don't know what to make of this entire offer. Can we get like 15 minutes?
Yeah, I mean, so you guys can share it around. You can make, anyone could make a nobility or local check to see kind of maybe how would you use this situation to your advantage. If you guys want some suggestions.
Oh, yeah.
I'm more than happy to give you suggestions. Yeah. Buddy, you've played a lot of poker with the gals.
Oh, yeah.
And
Ladies
you know that if you have a good hand, you don't tell them you have a good hand. You gotta bluff them for a while. You gotta kind of get as much out of them as you can, and then you reveal you have the good hand and you get the pot. At least that's what they always do to you. You can't really seem to figure it out yourself. But they always seem to kind of lure you in this way. So you think that you could just refuse, and they'll just assume you don't know anything about negotiations, which they already do. You could accept, and they'll think that you're weak. Or you could let them know that you know the game they're trying to play. And if you do that in a subtle way or a clever way, they'll probably respect you more as negotiators.
Oh.
Like, if you let them know you're onto them and do it in a super subtle way that's not overt, they'll probably, be like, whoa, these people know what's up.
Yeah. Interesting. Maybe that's the route we go, then.
Hit him with a good old-fashioned, Now listen, I enjoy an outside investor as much as anyone else. We're actually here on the side of another benevolent benefactor who's also willing to offer you a little bit of something if you're willing to offer us higher, higher interest, higher, opportunities, even maybe higher than market rates for certain things.
Yes,
maybe we can both come to a point.
You kind of like flip it back in her face, and she'll smirk and be like, "Of course, I will inform Nereza of your benefactor." And she'll like give you a knowing smile, and she'll leave. Yeah, mechanically, you've like reduced the DCs of checks by 2 because you're able to show them you can play the game as well as they can, if not better. The other options resort in you just agreeing to the deal and then not getting anything a week later when you were promised to get like your tens of thousands of gold pieces a year. Or like being like, no, we never take a bribe. And then the DCs go up because they think you're stupid. So, yeah. Anywho, but aside from that, the evening passes uneventfully. The next day, morning starts, and you're thinking about like maybe taking, trying to get more done today because you don't want to drag this out. And you kind of look around and try to track down Nereza. Maybe you find her assistant. She's like, oh, she's taking a constitutional out about the grounds. She'll be back by lunch though, and then we should be able to begin maybe at 2 or 3 after an afternoon tea.
I think we need to get today over with.
Oh, well, there's plenty of amenities here. Though I'm Nereza's personal assistant, I'd be more than happy to assist any of you. She looks at you, buddy, as she says this.
Oh.
And this is Sayabel, this gal here, who's chatting with you. Is there anything you need help with?
Buddy's good. Thank you.
Oh, okay. She kind of looks a little deflated. It's very subtle, but it's there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Buddy will look at the tea and be like, I wish I had beer.
Yeah, she'll return like 10 minutes later with little pony keg, and she'll be like, I found the groundskeeper is a bit of a gruff man, but he told me that there was some libations hidden away for holidays and such. If you'd like, more than happy to have a drink with you.
Ooh. Thank you. And I'll be like, Saybell is your name?
Yes.
Excellent. Yeah, I'll have a beer with her.
Yeah. You chat with her a bit. She seems like probably the most normal of all of them. She's not like a diehard Thrune worshiper or devil worshiper or anything like that. You don't even think she's like that lawful. She's just like, I've been her assistant for the last few years and pretty stable employment. I've worked with her for nearly a year, and she's pretty impressive. I think that she's I've heard the tales. She's talked to a lot of legendary people. She'll tell you of like dragons that have come down to talk to her personally on various topics that interest them. And she's negotiated, between kings and emperors before. Cheliax outsources her to like other people. She's their top negotiator. And it's like a pretty cool appointment that she gets to be here. And she's like, man, and I've traveled all over just this last year, but the stories of what you all were doing in Kintargo, is it true that when you killed Barzillai, you ripped his heart out and ate it? Because I heard he didn't have a heart.
What did we do? Sure, yeah, we did that.
Oh, and the dragon, did you wrestle it to the ground and rip its wings off one by one?
Yeah, I like that story. That's good.
Yeah, she basically is like obsessed with celebrities, and you are all local celebrities. So she like talks about people that you don't know that are like famous in Cheliax, but then she like starts talking about your exploits, and it's all like tabloid, super exaggerated, not accurate stuff.
Nice.
TMZ lore.
Yeah, like TMZ lore. Yeah, she's like a TMZ nerd. She's like, I can't believe that you and Tommy don't fight all the time. Well, after you killed Tommy's best friend Yuri, we heard all about that.
Oh, yeah. Big misunderstanding.
Yeah. Well, I'm just surprised that Tommy and Cyril have gotten together. Why? We all thought that Tommy and Yuri would wind up together.
Because his name's Yuri.
But yeah. So you guys chat for a bit. Lunch will happen. She'll come back. She's a little sweaty. She's been like wearing jogging clothes or something. She's like, oh, lovely altitude here. The guy is so open here in Ravenel. You've really done well. It's a fantastic countryside. Thank you so much for having us. And she'll like go take a shower. She'll change. She'll have like a late lunch. And then like the messengers will come and let you know that negotiations will start at like 2 or 2:30. When you all pile in there, she'll again be prim and proper with the scribe at the ready, and she'll be like, are we ready to begin?
We're gonna have to start tomorrow at like 9 a.m., by the way. I gotta get home after that.
Oh, well. I always find that negotiating in the afternoon is better after we've let the morning temperament settle a bit.
My roses are planted, unfortunately. That's unfortunate, but I really do gotta get to that.
Well, let's dig in today, and we'll see if we can finish up bright and early tomorrow for you. How does that sound?
Listen. We'll see what we can get, but,
Well, rest assured, anything that we don't reach a negotiation on, I'll just have to tell Queen Abigail that you refuse to talk of.
We just gotta talk at a reasonable time is what I'm saying. I have plants. He has a farm.
Yeah.
We got a lot of stuff.
Mechanically, you are more than happy not to participate in any negotiations that you don't want to.
I just want to have her talk. I'll do the negotiations. I'm just forcing her to not seal ball us by, stalling the conversation multiple hours in the day.
Yeah, she thinks that if you guys really buckle down tonight, you'd probably be able to finish tomorrow morning. Also, on the first day, you could have negotiated to have negotiations happen all day long, in which case we would be done already. Everything's negotiable, Garm.
I hate all of them. I hate them so much.
I hope that you're having fun.
Oh, yeah, it's fine.
Seriously.
It just reminds me of how many ways I can hate Cheliax even when we win.
Even in victory, there is no in victory.
It is awful.
Yeah.
I want to take my victory lap. I want to, teabag on the fucking Chelish flag, but look, they won't let me.
Well,
They're just reasonable.
I understand your concerns. Time is paramount for me as well. So let's really try to make headway tonight. Agreed. Scrivener, he'll put his quill down. Now then, the issue that we'll begin with, I think, should be about the artistic and scholastic rites. You see, Kintargo houses numerous performance halls, art objects, historical artifacts, as well as the collected treasuries of noble families. Mementos of Cheliax's proud history reside within these museums and art houses, and in the Alabaster Academy, and we fear losing access to these treasures. Additionally, we want to assure that the Academy will not discriminate against Chelish citizens that would seek to go there. We ask that anyone bearing a letter of introduction from House Thrune be granted unconditional access to the art houses and museums. This access would also apply in instances where the location in question is a private residence. Furthermore, we would like that any items the government in Kintargo owns or controls not be sold or destroyed without first being offered to House Thrune. In the case of items to be sold, we would of course pay a fair price if we'd like to exercise our right to buy them.
I don't know, sounds like you're violating the Fourth Amendment right, Claire. Unreasonable search and seizure.
Amendments? Have you already had to fix your broken contracts that you've written with yourselves? Your nation is only a few days old. Yes, and that's why we're trying to establish some ground rules to start from. And obviously, these objects aren't yours. You've freed the populace. Hurrah! You've freed your nation. Hurrah! But of course, you can't claim ownership to the things in there that don't belong to you.
All right, let's go over this point by point. First, students. I think it is acceptable to take students so they can see how great, Ravenel is as opposed to Cheliax, who seems to be so dependent on us that they need to keep asking
Don't
us
put that in there.
every little thing.
Did you guys know I was supposed to go to the Alabaster Academy? It was supposed to be cool.
These are the kind of side conversations that will keep us here until tomorrow evening.
That's a good point. That being said, there does have a point here. I'm also not from Kintargo. I applied just like everyone else, and I got in just like anyone else.
Yes.
Kintargo's...
Correct me if I'm wrong. I may very well be mistaken. It has been known to happen in the past. There is some friction between Kintargo and Cheliax currently. I am sensing a bit of tension. So you can see where some officials may be worried that some of our students, our citizens, may feel discriminated against should they try to pass into your borders and travel to the academy only to be rejected at the doors of the Grand Hall or of any of the museums to see any of these relics of the past. While
They're not worth it. They're not worth it.
While you might not cherish the old ways or revere them, you certainly must see that there's something to be learned from knowing of the past. And that's why we would ask that if any of these relics are to be destroyed or sold, that you would, of course, consider us first for any of these sales. I think we can all agree to that, surely.
This seems like another reason to become a Ravenel citizen as opposed to Cheliax. And as your population dwindles, you become weaker. You can't constrict or
Bad. Hit him, Caerrat.
No, listen. I have an unfortunate reality of some of the relics have already kind of been incinerated in holy fire by Milani. And for that, I do apologize. We did not understand that you may want some of your relics back, much the same as we would like some of our relics back.
What relics of yours do we have?
Honestly, I have no idea. I think you guys just broke all of our people instead. You guys kind of sent,
Our people. They were our people. That you have now cordoned off in your new nation, which we're very happy that you have, of course. Well done.
That is cordoned off in our nation?
Our citizens who are now de facto citizens of your land. Sure, I'm sure they all want that.
They could leave.
Could they?
We're not.
Could they take their belongings with them? Could the owners of these could the leaders of these noble families in the Ivy District take all of their holdings and leave? Certainly. Would you lose 25% of your GDP? Certainly. I'm more than happy to facilitate those negotiations if you'd like. Or we can look at the matter in hand.
I hate them so much. I just hate them.
I'm trying to do a good job of being an asshole negotiator.
I just hate them.
You're doing so good. You're doing so good. I hate you so much.
Yes. So the 3 points are, hey, we want to let these students in there. We also want access to these relics wherever they are, be it in your home or the museum. And if you're going to sell them, you got to sell them to us first.
If something's in my home, you're not touching it.
We established the Fourth Amendment. That was the thing we did before we had a constitution.
Well, let's find a common ground to begin with. Certainly, milestones in history, important relics of the past, should be open to all that wish to learn of history. Do we agree to that?
I don't know. There's statues of bad people. We just take those down.
God damn it,
Man has a point.
Those are statues glorifying people. I'm not talking about statues. I'm talking about actual things. The first writings of an opera. Things
Unfortunately, everything in the opera house
original
is
oil paintings.
Ardent Crows.
Original oil paintings. Things of that nature. Things which may belong in private collections. We do not wish to take those items out of private collections, but the works of some of these artists surely should be spread with a new generation of artists. In what better place than a seat of culture is Agorian? We have so many brilliant young minds interested in art. I know that the Silver City claims to be a bastion of freedom and popularity and hope and joy and all that lovey-dovey shit. Pardon my language. However, you cannot
Understandable, Silva.
argue with the quality of playwrights, the quality of the artists that Agorian churns out on the regular. She'll rattle off a bunch of names of, like, locally famous people who are, like, modern impressionist artists and shit like that. And she would like those sort of people to have access to these paintings and works of art that may be inside people's private residences, as they did previously before you invented your new country.
Invented
No.
our country.
I don't like people entering my house.
What would make you comfortable? They'll have a letter of passage from House Thrune. Surely that's enough.
Thrune
It's just
doesn't bring any comfort to anyone in Kintargo. He kind of killed a lot of people.
What would bring you comfort? What other name? So we could have a signature from House Thrune. We could have a second.
Maybe an
signature.
application, maybe like
Maybe-
a general test or something.
Maybe
I don't know.
Cheliax disappearing forever.
Merit-based and
We're
admittance.
here to talk of
I was
things in
going to say
reality.
literacy test.
Oh, so merit-based admittance is reality. This is why I hate these people.
Listen, perhaps we could have a signature from both House Thrune and a impartial, let's say, hi dog.
Examination.
Oh my god, hi dog. How about a
No, puppy.
recognized scholarly institution of your choosing?
I do enjoy a recognized scholarly institution.
Like the head of your arts department at the Alabaster Academy, something of that nature.
And that's our designee.
Yes. So one of our designees, one of your designees, 2 signatures required to grant access to private collections.
For you guys? Because we can still access all of ours on our own.
Of course,
Like,
we are visitors in
think-
your nation. This would only be for our citizens.
There also needs to be some sort of a warning ahead of time.
Yes, the letter
Just-
with the signatures.
I thought they were
I am
just showing
more
up
than
with the
happy to
letter.
advocate for additional paperwork, but I understand that
Okay.
you tend to be more freeform and would probably like less paperwork.
All right. So here's what we can do.
Rest
Uh,
assured, Cheliax will
so
be more than
One
happy
delegate,
to
one delegate
introduce more
from each.
paperwork.
One delegate for each. However, your citizens that are going into private collections must be escorted by armed guard.
But armed guard, are you going to pay them? They'll be your guard, I presume.
Creates jobs.
If you agree to pay the salaries of these guards, we have no problem.
I'll huddle around. What do you guys think?
Why do they need to be guarded? They're trying to come in and take all the paintings.
They just want to look at them, so this is so they can't take them.
Why don't we just set up a fancy building where private
Oh, okay.
collectors can just put their artwork in there if they feel like it, and anyone can go in and look at
We
it?
sponsor an open source museum. I like that. We sponsor a public access museum that has all Chelish noble artwork that wants to be provided at no cost, free admittance.
Yeah.
That is
We pay for armed security. We
that
get
is
like a
what
bunch of
we
tentable
call-
adventures.
That is what we call a great idea. But what I'm asking for is a solution today that will help people tomorrow. Not 10 tomorrows, 100 tomorrows, 1,000 tomorrows from now. For right
Sounds
now,
like people need to wait a couple
until
tomorrows.
that building is constructed, we would agree to the armed guards. Come on, don't you have places to be tomorrow? Let's agree. and
I'm
move
kind of
on.
agreeing with them right now. Not gonna lie.
I mean, that building can get built in like a year.
We can get that thing
A
up
lot
quick.
can happen in a year. I believe a year ago, maybe a little less. Barzillai Thrune was still the lawful ruler of your town.
Lawful's debatable.
No, it was very lawful. It was all.
I'll start humming like an Azada song. Just thinking.
All right. Well then, we've established that, shall we move on to another topic? Yes?
Yeah. Let's
Are
go.
we in agreement?
Yes, yes.
For the Scrivener? Excellent. Now then, we would like to discuss a little of a more serious agreement here. A military alliance. We would like the right to summon Kintargan forces to our side in the event of a formal declaration of war against an enemy power. In exchange, we will come to the aid of you if war is declared against you. This, of course, will be a difficult topic for us to discuss, as I'm aware. However, we would like this arrangement to be in place because without it, were your nation to be attacked, we would be more than happy to stand by and close our borders. Thus, you would be stuck between us and the ocean should, say, Nidal decide to invade because you're a relatively new burgeoning nation. Now, if we had this sort of mutual agreement, were Nidal to attack, we would be more than happy to provide defense in your aid.
And exploit a weakened Ravenel and take over the country. Okay.
I think being backed against the water is good for us.
Yeah.
You know, the
Do
waters
you know
are
how
friend.
sieges work?
The
Yeah.
waters are friend. We know the elves.
We
have close diplomatic
Are you
ties.
speaking of the Askai elves? Those occupy just a fraction of your northern edge. You have the whole western wilds.
As
That's
a level
hundreds of
15
miles of
character,
coastline.
I'll explain that, okay, so we'll get several druids to inhabit every city. They can cast Goodberry, and we'll be fine. Like, these issues you present have solutions that we understand.
Listen,
So they can siege us. We have unlimited food. We can have our clerics create water. We can have our druids be casting Goodberry. We will be fed. We will be no thirst. You can't break us.
I feel like I must remind you how negotiations work, my friend.
I refuse.
You see, this is a point where there is some merit. If our two nations are to coexist, and for the time being they are to coexist, we must
Fair.
have some sort of arrangement. There must be some sort of agreement. If you are attacked from the sea, you have no such agreement with Nidal. If you had no such agreement from us, you would be boxed in. Let us establish some sort of agreement. I'm not saying you give us 100% of your troops if we go to war. That's negotiable. I'm not saying you join on the first day of the conflict. That's negotiable. But we need to have some sort of agreement. It will benefit both sides vastly. Yours more than ours. We are an established nation. No one seeks to invade us. And those that do shall, slide the newspaper across the table about Hell's Vengeance, which is the Adventure Path 3 play evil people putting down a rebellion in the South while this is happening. They're all fucking executed. It's done. They've the bad guys in that campaign, the main characters have killed off the Glorious Reclamation. The rebellion has been squelched. No land lost.
Which, by the way, would be a fun follow-up campaign to this campaign.
It is the suggestion for continuing the campaign at the end to have you fight the characters from the other one. It's if you play through the other one and get those to the level cap, then you can have them battle each other or something.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah. So that's kind of what she presents. This is going to be a difficult point to argue. Cobra, give me an intimidate check, since you've been vehemently arguing for your side. Yeah. Okay. Let's place a reasonable limit on the amount of troops that you would pledge to our defense. Let's say 50% of your military. Only land troops, no navy.
Okay. The counter offer.
Of course.
What about when your troops are depleted to 10%? We will enforce 100% of our troops within your borders to protect you as we, take over all your government buildings and.
That started okay, and then so quickly.
No, I liked it a lot more as it was finishing.
I mean, yes, so did I.
So
but
we'll
it
protect all
started
your
quick.
government buildings. We'll make sure the government's working. Our government.
She'll
The
look
interest-
at you, Sarah, and be like, if you wish to leave by, noon tomorrow, you should participate
have
in this
extra
negotiation, my
conversations.
friend.
So listen, we have very little interest in coming to the defense of Cheliax, especially against those who may be rightfully advocating for their own emancipation from Chelish rule. Who's to say that another situation, much like ours, doesn't come up and, we have any interest in one way or another? I have no interest in starting any aggression with Cheliax. That's never been our goal, but you would be starting an aggressive action by closing the borders against any of our retreats or attempts to rally ourselves. Our Menadorian gap would be an ample stronghold for both of us to have, any amount of sway, one side or another.
How about this? I do see your point. It's part of your new nation's identity. Freedom, hope, whatever. That's okay. Cheliax understands differing viewpoints exist in the world, despite our opinions of them. We appreciate that you have your own opinions. Makes for good trade. How about this? We would not expect your aid for any internal struggles. Anyone within Chelish lands that seeks to rebel, we will not call upon Kintargo for aid. Furthermore, I'd be willing to extend that to other nations that share your ideology. Say Andoran or Taldor.
We'll iron out that list, yeah.
Yeah.
And, if Nadal comes at you, I got you,
We are, in fact, talking about the Nadal in the room. That is the biggest concern we have. Kintargo has always served as a buffer, a first line of defense, as it were, along with the Menador
we got you.
against an invasion from Nadal. And while I know that you would do the best to protect your borders, we would like to be involved in that defense as well. If only to assuage Scribe, he'll take his pen off the thing, to assuage the pointy Hansen in Nagorian that we're doing the best we can. Scribe, and he'll go back to writing. She won't have her little jibe in there about them. But yes, she'll agree to place limits on the nations that you'll have to
our defensive
help
pacts,
assist.
of course.
Yeah. You can have exemptions against whatever nations are reasonable that match your ideologies, and they won't expect you to participate in any rebellions.
But yeah, we can work together on that.
Be reasonable.
That shadow in the room.
Yeah. Very good. Well, it is dinner time. That last one was quite invigorating. We have just one more thing to talk about. I say we table it until tomorrow morning. Get it done bright and early.
No, we could go home.
I'll make it.
We could do it
You'd like-
tonight. We could even.
You'd
Can we
like
do it
to
tonight?
leave? The natural one? No. But
We have.
so you'd like to stay
3
up
hours.
all night and then leave early in the morning? Why not rest? Decompress. Take a breath. We're
No.
done. The Scrivener will close the book and she'll be like,
Okay.
another
What if
fantastic
we allow
session.
you to use a teleportation spell this one time so you don't have to walk all the way out of here? We could just get this done and we can just teleport and be on our own beds tonight.
Why don't you bring this negotiation to the table when we're actually negotiating? She'll stand up and kind of roll her shoulders. No, we'll talk of this tomorrow.
I hate this place.
You don't hate this place. Come on.
She negotiated for 2.5 hours.
No, she didn't. She negotiated for 8 hours. You guys have talked from 2 to for 4 hours. You guys talked from 2 to 6. That's why she's the best negotiator.
Tommy needs help because Tommy's just gonna go immediately no, we're gonna just take you over. No.
Well then, do you guys want to do
Tommy's our
anything this
warhawk.
evening? Anything of note? Negatory?
No.
I might challenge Buddy to a drinking contest.
I'm gonna
Sure you
challenge
wanna
the
do that?
scribe.
The
Yeah.
scribe
I'm gonna challenge him to a writing contest.
to a writing
Writing
contest?
Yeah, see who can write faster.
I mean, he writes everything word for word pretty well because he's developed a shorthand to kind of keep track of it all. He's not super interested in doing work stuff outside of work hours. It seems as if the entire entourage is like very on during negotiating hours, and then when they're off the clock, they like want nothing to do with it.
They're all
In that case, I'll
horrific
challenge
people.
him to hide and seek.
It's like hide and seek, the child's game, yes?
Yes. Sometimes you have to let out your inner child.
You're a curious little rat person. Perhaps instead we play a game of chance.
What say you?
Yeah, he'll like put a few silver pieces on the table, and as you see as your two friends begin drinking, he'll like bet on which one of them is gonna tap out first.
My money's on Buddy. But Buddy's got
He
this.
enjoys just gambling on like random things around the room. Like, oh, which of those logs on the fire do you think is gonna fall over first?
Hang on.
Things like that. He just gambles on all sorts of obscure little things. He's
I'm
kind of
going to just
addicted
mark
to it.
off. I'm just going to mark off 6 gold pieces.
Sure, you guys go back and forth throughout the night, gambling on all sorts of stuff.
I assume we're drinking too.
Yes, of course. Buddy, Tommy, you guys are having a drinking contest?
Yeah.
Who wants to win that?
Me.
I want to win.
Okay, I guess both of you make a constitution check.
Can I be raging while I'm drinking?
Not over the course of the whole evening.
Okay, fair enough. The Constitution check, you said?
Yep.
Oof.
Well, Tommy, it's you guys drink for probably like a couple hours, but by the end, you are less drunk.
It's funny if I was raging, I would have won that. It would have given me a +4.
On a 3, you can win. A 1, nah, not quite. You're like, I got one more in me, and you like rage, take a drink, slam it, and then just like immediately vomit.
And when that happens, I say, "Oh fuck, I lost."
I shouldn't have so many beers in the morning.
Yep. But yeah, anything else specific you guys are doing this evening?
I should talk to one of these fucking people.
Garm, you don't have to. I'm just asking.
I don't want to.
Then don't. There's also the staff. You can talk to the staff. You can talk to no
man.
one.
Let's go talk to the stable hand.
Ugh, I have to find the stable hand.
That's your own fault.
I'll remember this, Garm. I won't feel bad at all about what happens next. Yeah. Aldressa. So you wander over to the stables. It doesn't look like they're attached to this building. So they have like a stable off to the side. You'll wander over there. She is pretty excited and chipper. And you see she's combing and cleaning. There's like 4 dark black, impressive, fearsome looking horses with like beautiful tooled leather and like little metal spike armor and stuff like that. That's all hanging around them. Definitely like the diplomat's horses. And then there's like a pony or something for keeping up the grounds here. Hello.
Oh, hello. I needed a break from all of that was going on inside. It was horrific.
Oh yes, the negotiations. Are they well underway?
They don't stop talking.
Yes, that's how negotiations work, I understand.
I sometimes think that it'd be nicer to spend time out here, staring up at the sky. I thought it'd be over.
It's beautiful. Big sky country. That's what we call it, at least. Yep.
Big sky.
Yep.
So what do you do here?
Well, I take care of the horses. You know, she'll tell you that, you know, she takes care of the stable here. She really likes it. It's challenging. There's always new animals that she gets to see periodically. Though it's kind of slowed down since the gap closed. But rumor has started spreading around that maybe the gap's going to open up again, you know, in the future. There's going to be some rebuilding, some jobs being created. So
Yeah,
maybe
apparently.
some tradesmen will come through here. That'll be cool. She tells you that a while ago there was a group of Tengus that came through. They were cool. They were all sisters.
Ooh, very
Yep, they had little little chocobo birds that they rode into town. That was neat.
Oh, bird on bird.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, I'm so sorry. It's just late in the night. You must be tired from your negotiations too. You could just go to sleep.
Yeah, I could.
And then we could move on to the third day of negotiation.
Yeah, I guess that's what we're doing.
She seems to have like 4 words of descriptive text. Stable master, semicolon, friendly and energetic, period.
And she was all of those.
Well, happy
Thank
now.
you, Stable Master.
Of course.
Next time.
So please, my name's I'll dress him in. Chaotic neutral female human ranger 1/expert 3.
Thank you.
Yeah, there's a bunch more NPCs if you want to talk to them.
I don't want to talk to them.
Yeah, it's like a full inn, you know, a lot of stuff happening. The evening, you know, you guys go to sleep. Is anyone awake at exactly 3 o'clock in the morning?
No, I was waking up at 4.
All right. You're going to wake up a little earlier. We're going to, you know, the camera will pan over all of you asleep in their beds. You know, sugar plums dancing in their head, all that stuff.
Of course.
Pan over the 4 of you, pan over Sezzix nice and asleep. And then it will pan over to a hallway. And we'll see 3 shadowy figures climb onto the roof of the building outside. And we'll see a smaller one climb down the side of an outside wall. And we'll slide open a window. And we'll come into a room. The room is dark. You can't even see who's asleep in there. And a sliver of moonlight will hit the face of this person. And you'll see that it's Sezzix. But he doesn't have a musket. He reaches in to his jacket and he pulls out a curved, blood-red kukri that glows with malevolent energy. And he walks over to the bed and he puts a hand over the mouth of the person sleeping there, which is Nerissa, the head negotiator. And he will take the kukri and he will drive it into her chest and, like, cut her heart. He'll move his hand and she'll scream out for a second before dying. A moment later, in a plume of brimstone, the barbed devil will appear and start tearing into Sezzix. Sezzix, of course, being nimble and capricious, will like dance out of the way. He'll get a couple of slashes in with his kukri. The devil will start tearing into him. Alarms will go up across the inn. Torches will be lit. You guys will wake up, start getting your gear, cast some buff spells. You'll burst out into the hallway. And as the door to this room flies open in a cinematic fashion, you'll see this barbed devil standing there, wounded over the body of Nerissa, dead, the diplomat. And he's by himself. And he looks super upset. And as he turns and looks at the party, he'll point at Sezzix and he'll say, "Murderer!" You roll initiative.
Oh. How could I have murdered someone got here?
It seems as if you can easily defeat this creature in combat. It's already wounded. It's just a barbed devil. But it is hostile. And it starts coming.
No shoot. Bad shoot.
I got one shot off before you got all that. I'll go with that.
Yeah, you like blast him in the shoulder and this thing starts to close. Maybe like Buddy tackles him. The thorns poke into him. He like wrestles him to the ground. Trying to trip him.
Listen, all Ray's hurt. Shut up. It's fine. We didn't kill her. Is she even like dead that long?
She is super dead.
Oh, I can't just breath of life her. It's been more than 6 seconds. God damn it. Listen, Mr.
I'm sorry,
Devil.
I do have to make a fortitude save. A 2. She did not survive the death attack.
Listen. Give me a little bit. Let me sleep off the night as they're like wrestling the devil who's like stabbing into Buddy.
The devil will like teleport out of its confinements. We'll go to like start attacking Tommy. Maybe you guys like whack it for some non-lethal damage. It snarls at you and then it'll just disappear. The two of you, Buddy and Tommy, roll a d20, see if you get higher than my d20.
A 10?
Tommy, it seems as if this thing is going to retreat. You could maybe knock it unconscious. Would you take that chance to try to knock it out? The barb
This
devil?
is one of those things where he's going to grab my weapon and teleport.
No, he's trying to just flee. You guys have
Yeah,
obviously bested him. He's like trying to retreat.
Yeah, we should probably stop him.
Yeah, give me one attack roll at a -4 if you're doing non-lethal damage.
1 attack roll.
Yeah, you manage to like bonk him over the head as he starts casting his spell to flee, and you just knock him out. We don't need to do a whole combat for this. Yeah, so the rest of the entourage are like not fighters. You guys kind of like they huddle together. They're terrified of you. They don't quite know what happens. It seems as if the Barb Devil was accusing you of murdering her. She's definitely dead. You just beat up the bodyguard. They're like,
yeah, that's fair.
They're freaking out.
I'll make a diplomacy check. I'll point at my hands. I haven't killed anyone in a while. I'll point at Sezzix. He has a gun. Wouldn't have died like that. Scytheman would have ripped him in half. Buddy also would have ripped in half. None of us are that stealthy. If we would have wanted to do it, we would have done it from the start.
Yeah. I mean, your words, you can make a diplomacy check at like a -20.
Listen.
Your words don't land that well. Like of all of them, Athinia is the only one that seems to kind of realize that, like, maybe you're being genuine. Everyone else is still just adrenaline's too high. They're freaking out too much. And Athinia will, like, kind of calm herself and be like, well, regardless of what has happened, it is my duty as the next negotiator to finish the proceedings tomorrow. I trust that we can still come to a peaceful agreement tomorrow morning between all parties.
We still have to do this.
Can we not just res her?
Yeah, I'm gonna res her.
Yeah, Garm, you go over to her and you go to res her.
Yeah.
Yeah, 5,000 gold pieces.
Yeah, I'll work off 5k.
Yeah, as you bring her back to life, her eyes will go wide and she's like, What happened?
You died.
Who did this? She'll look over and she'll be like, you! She'll point at Sezzix. It was you! I saw you!
I'll pull out my gun and be like, does this look like what killed you?
No, it was a blade. Curved and red. She'll describe that super evil knife that you guys sent away in book 1.
Oh!
She'll describe
to the Desna people.
she'll describe that exact knife.
Oh, did the desert people lie to us?
I don't know what that means.
We tried to get rid of an evil artifact, and looks like someone not good got it. So as an apology, sorry that a weapon that we were trying to get rid of ended up in bad hands. We'll call us even on the raise, Dad. Sound good? I'll offer a handout.
She'll kind of take a minute to process it, but she is pretty quick. You know, she's a higher level character, and she'll kind of understand what's happening, and she'll be like, "So someone was trying to sour these negotiations between us, then."
100%.
I thank you. You were under no obligation to bring me back to life. I understand that. She'll like kind of sit up and she'll like pull her night robe. It's covered in blood. But even in like her haggard state with her 2 permanent negative levels, she still seems like strikingly regal and like has it to fucking gather. Like there's a reason she's the #1 negotiator.
She's the #1 negotiator.
And she'll be like, very well. We will continue our negotiations tomorrow. I have to make some addendums to our agreements prior, and I do hope that you'll find them amenable in the future. We'll talk in the morning. The morning comes, and like as you guys wake up or whatever, bright and early, right when you wanted to start, they're all there. The devil is there as well. Maybe it's like holding an ice pack to its head. You know?
Bag of peas.
Like a bag of peas, yeah. It'll just be sitting there. It still looks a little bruised, like it hasn't had all its wounds healed yet. And as the two of you come in, as Buddy and Tommy come in, he'll kind of like nod at Buddy. Tommy, as you come in, he'll like put a hand to your chest to stop you, and he'll be like, "You did a good job protecting your ward. I have a lot to learn." And he'll like step to the side and let you in.
I'll speak in Infernal to him one day.
Come to farm.
Yeah. She will be there, and she's like, "Well, before we get to the task at hand, I went ahead and put in those alterations that you requested last night. The Scrivener, of course, made note of our last night meeting when we spoke from 4 o'clock to 5 o'clock in the morning. You, of course, have no knowledge of any such conversation."
We'll feign ignorance, feign that we know what's going on, of course.
Of course. On the first issue of the trade settlements, we'll go ahead and reduce that to a minimum of 20% of exports. There's no need for it to be 40%. I think we all agreed to that. Furthermore, it seems unkind that you should only have an outbuilding for your troops in Menador Keep. We'll, of course, build 2 keeps of equal size on either side of the border. We'll pay for both of those, and you can staff the other one however you see fit with as many troops as you see fit. Furthermore, we think that requesting access to these private collections for art is a bit uncouth. There'll be no need for that. I think we can all agree to that. And your last request. We, of course, will not request your aid in any conflict unless it's been at least 3 months since the war has begun, and Ravenel will not need to stay for more than 6 months at a time, per your requests. It seems as if she just gave you additional concessions beyond what you had already negotiated.
Nice.
Because you saved her life.
Not really saved, I'd say restored.
Yeah. We gave her life.
Now then, the final topic, of perhaps the most importance, a non-aggression pact between our 2 great nations. We want assurance that Ravenel will not make military incursions into Cheliax, and you won't supply other nations with weaponry or powerful magic. While we aren't overly worried about you doing damage to our nation, we're keenly aware of your ability to march troops across our border. So we'd like to gain these assurances to protect ourselves from vulnerability. We should be able to trust each other, and the less we have to worry about that border, the more we can focus on external threats. Now then, she'll wave her hand, and the Scrivener will take his hand off of the parchment. As savvy negotiators, surely you're already aware that we, of course, could make a concession to obviously not supply soldiers to your side of the border. without any sort of agreement ahead of time. But we also would certainly be willing to negotiate a point where we would agree not to sell any weapons or outfit any armors or sell any powerful magic to any other nations that are actively hostile with you. Finally, we would agree, although you have been shrewd negotiators to bring up this point, we would agree that we wouldn't allow hostile nations to pass through Cheliax on the way to Kintargo. And of course, she'll gesture again, the scrivener will put it down. I'll of course agree to all your terms. Those are sticky points and salient ones as well.
Rough negotiations.
You were quite savvy to bring those up. I dare say I've been outmaneuvered in this regard. Well then, it's a good
Takes
thing
skilled negotiators now.
It's a good thing that we were able to come to an accord so quickly. I believe you'll make your early departure as planned. She'll gesture and the scrivener will just put his stuff away. She's like, well then, thank you. Thank you for taking the time to meet with me and discuss these issues and give them the birth and gravitas they require.
They deserve. They really need it.
Yeah, she just gives you all the concession points. She gives you like 2 of the 3 concession points on every topic if you bring her back to life. You just like auto win all of the diplomacy that you had to do.
Nice.
So all that suffering.
The 3 hours of suffering for nothing.
If Garm had chosen not to res her.
If Caerrat didn't res the person assassinated for no reason.
Also, if the Barb Devil teleports away, he just tells Thrune that you assassinated her.
Yeah.
Wow, we played that so well. Well, I think
or if you kill him, he
Nerez
just goes to hell and tells them that you killed her. So you have to, not kill him. But yes. With the last issue concluded, Nereza has her scribe, Emerlin, produce 2 copies of the treaty. This task only takes an hour to finish. You guys can prep yourselves for your voyage in the meantime. There's a fine bottle of wine that she provides from her private collection, as well as pleasant conversation in the lounge. Once the copies are ready, she signs both in the presence of you. She then asks you all to sign as well. Does everyone sign?
Yeah, I suppose.
Yeah.
Once the signatures are in place, you will retain 1 copy and she will keep the other. She thanks you for your time, and she is ready to depart. Once you have finished kind of all your negotiating and stuff like that, and everyone has wrapped up their stuff, she'll have all her stuff on her hand truck, ready to be carted out of the building because they're leaving, checking out of the hotel sort of thing. Her personal assistant will come over to her and be like, here it is, milady. And she'll give her a lacquered black box made of some nice dark hardwood. And she'll take it and she'll, now that negotiations have concluded, I do truly wish you luck with your new nation. You seem to be genuinely honest people who care about their citizenry. And in the 20 years I've been doing this, I must say you are among the first. It's truly admirable. And as personal thanks for what you did for me, I'd like you to have this. And she'll hand you the box.
Oh, thank you.
Inside, you find a fabulous ruby and mithril bracelet. The bracelet is valuable, but non-magical. And she'll say, I understand that the 2 of you are together, and you are engaged. Please consider this an early wedding present.
Thank you.
Well then, perhaps when I retire from this job, I'll seek residence in your fine city.
We'd be honored to have such company.
She'll give you a nod and thanks, and they'll all step outside and continue, up the hill. Yeah. That is it. The treaty is signed.
We did it!
We did it!
We saved the town again.
Yes, you've solidified saving the town.
Nothing bad could possibly happen from this point on.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and, we'll stop there. We'll give you a little bit of, we'll do our little courtside overview thing. The camera will pan out or whatever as you guys begin your preparations. Maybe you're teleporting back to town, whatever, you're heading back home. It'll just kind of fade out, and then we'll fade in on some dark place. The only light here is from fire somewhere in the distance. Black stones, leading up, like the camera's like panning along the ground, leading up to some figure like sitting on a throne. He's like broken, emaciated. He's there, and his like eyes will light up, and the camera will give you just a bit of a glimpse of him, and you can see that it looks like it's Barzillai. And he'll be like, oh, finally, Ravenel is free. We'll just end there. So yeah.
Sounds like part 3 to this movie is coming out in theaters this summer.
Well, it's a good thing you guys did that to save your nation. Surely there'll be no repercussions for those actions.
But we saved the town.
But we did all the things. Isn't this what we were supposed to do? But yeah, good job, guys. Good session. See y'all next time.
Well
We
played.
made it once again, team.
Woo! I hope that was fun. It was a session without combat. Yeah. You did the things.
I hate Cheliax so much.
That's my gift to you, Garm, is I will give you this entire adventure where you can hate them.
I just hate them.
There are no redeeming qualities. They're just bad people.
They're all just awful.
All right. Well, good job, guys. Next week, maybe?
I'm free next week.
Should be good.
I think I am, yeah.
Believe I'm good next week as well. Let me double check real quick.
All right. We'll tentatively say next week and then take it from there.
Gucci gang.
Bye.
Sounds good.
Bye.